Okay, hi, welcome everybody. My name is Jonas Hagströmer Theodorsson, and I'm a co-owner of Keywordio. I'm super happy to be here today with Lisa from Google. And Lisa, your background, it's really interesting with your background from Dublin and really helping a lot of e-commerce companies in the Nordics to grow globally. And the theme for today, it's really to talk about the future of digital marketing, and also how that is changing with the help of AI and machine learning today. So with that, I would like to hand over the word to you.
Yeah, thank you, Jonas, and thank you for having me here. As you mentioned, I started working at Google in Dublin, and now in Stockholm as a product manager, working with our strategic partnerships teams, where Keywordio is one of the partners we work very closely with. So very happy. And we've done a couple of webinars now, so we're starting getting knowing what we're doing. So hopefully you will enjoy today. And also we can mention in the end, so if you have any questions throughout this webinar, you will be able to email Jonas after. So he will have his contact details. So if you have any questions, you can send him an email.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, great.
Yeah, so let's get started to see what's happening in the future. So I will talk about the future of digital marketing. But before talking about the future, how does the reality look like today? So today we do not longer go online. We actually live online and looking at our phone 250 times a day, looking at where to find a restaurant, what to do, how to do it, where to go. Anything, we're looking at the phone. So just having it so close to you all the time. If you want some kind of information, you know you have it just one click away. And then moving forward in the future with things like machine learning, AI, Internet of Things, voice recognition, we will be even more connected. So it's predicted that we will be connected to 26 devices per person by 2020. And then looking into the overall trend. So we see we're always connected and we will get even more connected. We know that. And then today we have access to super tech and we're also able to store data. So we know more data is created, data is possible to store, and also with super tech, we see all of this are really good features for machine learning to flourish. But what is then machine learning? Machine learning is one branch of the field of artificial intelligence. And what it really does is to solve problems without a specific code for the solution. So if we look at the picture to the right, where we see traditional programming, where we have data and a program which goes into a computer, and out comes an output. Whereas with machine learning, you have data and output, put that into a computer, and out comes a program. So this is a way of building systems that improves themselves over the time. And where does Google fit in all of this? So Google has 7 different services with more than 1 billion users on each. And a lot of them are based on machine learning. Looking into Google Ads, which is one of the products Google has, which also includes lots of machine learning, we can see that it has a big reach with 4 million advertisers globally, 3.5 billion searches every day. So lots of data at Google Ads. And then these trends with always connected, accessible to super tech, massive data sets, and machine learning. If we take that to digital marketing, how does it affect digital marketing? And how does the reality of marketing looks like today? Because at this point, you are no longer competing just with your competitors. You're competing with the best experience a consumer ever had. So how can you get their attention in a world with lots of information going on? Because customers, they're going from wow moments to so faster than ever. And if we just look back to a few years ago, free shipping, 2-day delivery, and personalized recommendations, all of these were wow and something people were really into. Then today, we're more like so, this is something we expect, nothing ordinary. But now we are more wowed by easy mobile payments, shopping via voice and photos, same-day delivery, or even 2-day delivery. So our expectations have changed, and this is wow today. but think about what it will be like tomorrow, and how can your business take the next step and be the next wow moment in this. So a few tips that you can do to think of to be there in the future is to think of how can you help the customers faster? How can you know them better? And how can you wow them everywhere? So there's hundreds of questions you can ask under each of these, but I will help you to get started here. So how can you remove frictions for users to make the experience faster? So we see today that over 50% are leaving a site if it loads longer than 3 seconds on a mobile phone. So that is not too long time you have. And also, if you're leading traffic to your site and people are leaving it, is that good? Probably not. And we also see this affecting conversion. So just increasing or decreasing your speed with 1 second will raise your conversion as well on the site. So really, speed is important. You can also test your site on testmysite.withgoogle.com just to see how you're up to speed. Next question to ask is, how can you know your customers better, and how can you create a more personalized experience based on the data you have? And now with machine learning and data, and also with knowing the customer's intents, it's never been easier to show the right ad to the right person at the right time. And we also see this, that customers getting useful information from an advertiser can actually have them switch and buying from another advertiser than actually the one or another business other than the one they had intended from the beginning. So just by providing right information at right time, you can get customers. And the last one is just, how can you wow customers everywhere? So how can you bridge the gap between different channels? So it's all about understanding the customer journey and understanding cross devices, attribution, and how it works online to offline. We know that the mobile is the new shopping assistant, and people use more than one device. And we see that digital drives people to stores. So we see a very big connection with online to offline. So just to sum this up, we have lots of data on the customers. We know more about them, and more and more connectedness in the future. I don't know if you even say that, but I just want to end with a quote. So the ability to take data and to be able to understand it, to process it, to extract value from it, to visualize it, and to communicate it. That's what's going to be a huge, important skill in the next decades. And with that, I want to transfer to Jonas, which is one of our partners with Keywordio, really looking at this and thinking about what that means.
Yeah. Thank you, Lisa. And I can just so my background is I probably like data more than the average person. I spent the last 10 years with applied mathematics, and I really think that is so interesting because you can do so many things with it. So I've been working with like developing hip implants, helping Swedish nuclear power plants, and you can do so much with it. And if we transfer that to digital marketing, so what we do at Keywordio, we build ad technology based on the Google Ads API. So it's really core for us that we use the latest technology in AI and machine learning. We combine that with I would say the hardest question is really to ask the hard questions. It's really using business intelligence to understand more about what our customers, for example, within e-commerce, what is really making them grow profitable faster. And then is the last part, which is the customer intent, and really understand the customer. And if you manage to run all of these three together really fast, you will be able to grow and outcompete your competition. And that is really what we are helping our e-commerce customers with globally. So what is a typical challenge for an e-commerce company today? Well, you have a lot of categories for your assortment, for example. You also have a lot of different products, and mixing that up with a lot of different brands as well. So for all of them, you have different margins, you have different cost. If you have multiple countries, you're running them on different settings and all of that. And it's really to keep an edge on this, you need to work smart and make the machine work for you, so you can automate as much as possible. So this is one of my favorite pictures. This is Sigrid. This is my daughter. She's like 3.5 years old, and she is extremely curious. She can be really impatient, and she's really good on putting demands out for both me and Louise, my wife. So we love to serve her, but it's really that if we're looking into what Sigrid is doing today here, for example, watching the iPad, which is probably maybe not what the best thing to do, but of course in the future people will use more devices. People will be even, we talk about 3 seconds now. That 3 seconds, that's going to be transferred into half a second, and you will expect to have the delivery, half a day. You will expect to have the delivery faster, and I would say the demands, they are not going to stop, because as soon as somebody comes up with a new way to deliver something that wow you today, well, you will have higher demands on all the services you are connected to today. So it's really about always trying to push yourself to stay ahead of the curve here. That is really the key. And for example, for business intelligence, we're for example doing three things. So we do analysis for who is the most valuable customer in terms of age group, gender, what city part are you living in, what type of a day are you the most interesting to buy, for examples. And then we can optimize the sales and the revenue for typical customers. And we can even transfer that to optimize for customer lifetime value, or we can optimize for result in a channel like paid search, like from Google Ads. So I'm going to drop a couple of examples of that here. So who is your most valuable customers? So if we have 3 customers here, one is Anna, and one is Eric, and one is Thomas. So the average order value for Anna, it's 1,000 SEK for order, Eric 600, and then Thomas 700. So if you just look at that picture, then you say that, okay, Anna is the most valuable one. If you look at the cost you need to spend on Google Ads to get them in, so it's 200, 100, and 350. Then the return on ad spend, ROAS, it's 5, 6, and 2. So for that, then Eric would be the best one to go with, because he has the highest return on investment. But if you look at the purchasing behavior after the first purchase, they maybe come back once, twice, or 3 times and buying from direct, for example, which is free for you, or they come back through email for your marketing campaigns. And then you can see another picture that actually the Thomas with age 25 to 34 lives in city parts, like some bigger parts of the big cities. That persona is really the most valuable one, and those are the ones that you should drive more of your digital marketing to. This is what we do automatically at scale for our customers today, for example. And also, if you have a really like high season sales period, it could be like Christmas, could be Black Friday, and it's also really important to do the analysis on which product is really working well and which one is not working well. Okay, should I lower the price by 10%, 20%, or 30%? Well, you should use data for all of these analysis, so you're running this at scale. So if you have this orange product, for example, which you have, assume that this is a graph for revenue, for example. Then you have revenue, and then the orange one is not maybe not the highest revenue during the Black Friday season, for example. But the blue one, which is not the top performer during normal days, could be a top riser, which if you don't look at the data, you won't find these patterns. So it's really important to continue ask yourself these questions. Am I spending the marketing money where I get the most return, both in long term? And if you take it all the way down to a product level, so here, for example, every dot here, that is a product, and the size of the bubble, that is the revenue that product brings in, for example. And you have return on AdWords spend on the y-axis, and on the x-axis you have the product pricing. So this is a typical e-commerce that have a quite wide spread for the product. So they have products ranging from, assume that they also have some cheaper products. So pretty much product that range from 0 all the way up to 25,000 SEK, for example. Then most of e-commerce companies typically see that you have an area that is in the lower price region where you also have lower return on ad spend. This is also a really good note for yourself to, okay, why should I spend my marketing money here when I actually should look into more of the data where it makes the biggest impact? Because the challenge is not to spend money on marketing; it's really to spend it where you have the highest impact. And the competition, I can guarantee you, is not going to be less competition in the future. It's going to be the other way around, and you need to be the smartest one out there to really outcompete your competition on this. So these are typically trends that you will see, and I definitely recommend you to do this analysis for your own data, and I promise you will find some really interesting numbers on this. So, for example, Sofa Direct is a customer that we have been working with, and we are super happy that during a really important period for them, we managed to increase their revenue by 200%, which is fantastic numbers. And they have done a great job and really focusing on like how we can improve the site, what can we do to increase conversions, but it's also really what traffic do we buy into the site, and are we making sure that we buy in the traffic that really want to buy their product. So who is the most valuable customers, making sure that the most valuable products are always shown for the right people. So it's really a combination of AI, business intelligence, and customer insights that is the key for this success. We're super happy to see numbers like this and tell stories about customers that are really thriving in a really competitive space. So to sum up, really, think about how you use AI and machine learning today. Think about the questions you ask when you look at the data. If you're working with an agency that run things manually today, are you asking the right questions, for example? Are you taking a leverage on customer insight that you get, and really are you growing the way you should grow, and are you doing that with the profit? So that is really the key. And yeah, to finish up, as Lisa said, we're also happy to share all our ideas and insights. And if you want to do this analysis, I'm more than happy to help and support you. So just drop me an email, and I will be happy to guide you how you can find these patterns for yourself. And look forward to support all of you with the questions regarding AI and business intelligence for growing e-commerce globally.
Yeah. So hope you got some inspiration and some good thoughts and some questions you can ask yourself and your business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you all for today, and have a good one.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.